Pakistan is in deep trouble, deep trouble, but its leadership is doing nothing to bring the country out of it, General Hasnain. Pakistan has almost always lived off foreign aid, whether it was to train terrorists to fight the Soviets and get money from America, or post 9/11 once again get money from America to fight the same terrorists. Will the US and the Arab world continue to bail Pakistan out, or is there an apprehension that Pakistan may actually default in the coming weeks?
See, Gaurav, first of all, I think what Sushant has just brought out is so well described. This is something which has always been the trend in Pakistan. As far as Pakistan's economy is concerned, the 60s was a time, and I do remember when people used to come from Pakistan, they used to actually bring Camay soaps and chocolates for us, and we used to feel very, very jealous about it, the state of the economy in which Pakistan actually existed at that time. But today, obviously, everything has changed. Mismanagement, I think, probably started in the late 60s and has come to a head completely. Well, if the United States and other countries, if they don't bail out Pakistan at this particular time, then you are staring at an implosion which can have very, very serious implications for this entire region. And that will involve India definitely, because we are the ones who have the longest land borders with Pakistan. But I'm not so sure that Pakistan is, the United States or any of the Western countries is going to step in a hurry. I don't think their eternal friends China is going to step in a hurry, nor the Islamic world. Everyone is waiting and watching to see who takes the first step. And Pakistan is continuing to flounder. Whether Pakistan is remaining afloat because of black money, because of drugs and narcotics related economy, okay, one can't really say at this moment. But it seems that all this is being artificially put together at the moment, and any time this whole thing could implode. That would be
could Pakistan actually implode? Is that a genuine fear? Because there are some reports that seem to indicate that Pakistani Punjabis, they are discriminating in flour, atta going to Sindh or Balochistan or even Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan.
Look, Gaurav, this may be true, but this is not a racial discrimination. This is a political discrimination, because the ruling parties in provinces are different. There's a different party who's ruling in Sindh, and obviously a different party who's in Punjab, and same goes for GB. So obviously this is a political discrimination, and I clearly recall that this goes on in every tenure. In even Imran Khan's past government, Sindh always used to complain that they're not getting their share of wheat, and same goes for Punjab. I mean, this has also been the case for distribution of water, upon which they politically fight among them. But you know, for the economic quagmire that we are in and this whirlpool that we are in, I'd like to identify two problems. This is very rightly pointed out that in 60s, Pakistan used to be a different country altogether, and we've all heard of those times, we've all read of those times, and we are just envious about those, because they don't seem to be coming back anytime soon. Having said that, firstly is stability and the political state of affairs in the country. There is absolutely a political havoc that's been here in Pakistan, and it's been existent since I think the 60s and 70s onwards only, ever since, you know, military dictators have come in and they've taken over governments, they've sent the civilian governments home, and then civilians as well.
No, you know, but my question is, Sushant Sareen, can Pakistan actually implode? Are Pakistani nukes safe? Can some jihadi outfit take over the country? We're looking at reports of food riots already. We are also looking at, people surviving on a single meal. What is your impression, Sushant Sareen?
Gaurav, my impression is that Pakistan is like the Baghdad of the early 13th century, when the Mongols were at the gates, and the Mongols in this case are the TTP and the Taliban. They are the economic crisis, and they are the kind of political mess which is there. And the people in Baghdad were discussing whether the meat of a parrot is halal or haram. And the kind of political tussle which is going on in Islamabad right now reminds me of that it has absolutely no bearing to what is happening in the country. So yes, there is a complete lack of recognition of the crisis, and the kind of mess they are in. And let me tell you something, why I think an implosion is not to be ruled out completely. And regardless of what anybody says, or the fears expressed by General Hasnain, which are quite real, but the fact is nobody can save anybody from himself. And the thing is that Pakistan has become an unviable and an unsustainable state. To become viable, it will have to restructure itself, it will have to contract, it will have to reduce its army, it will have to reduce its government structures, it will have to really squeeze itself, which nobody is ready to do. So I don't see how any amount of aid, you can give them $10 billion tomorrow, it will take them for a year, they will blow up most of it, they will not restructure, they will not reform, because reform is going to be extremely difficult. So they will be back to where they are another 6 months, 1 year from now. So I don't see
And
how
is that the reason why Pakistan Army and ISI, General Hasnain,
can save them now.
General Hasnain, will we see a spike in terror, whether it's in Jammu and Kashmir or Punjab or elsewhere in India? Because to divert attention from Pakistan's deep crisis, a terror attack in India would unite that country. Is that a genuine fear? Already some terrorists or suspects have been arrested in Delhi.
Gaurav, to apply any sense of rationalism to a situation in Pakistan is always fraught with danger. So you have to be irrational in whatever one analyzes, whatever one applies, and whatever one concludes. So what you say is definitely a possibility. Pakistan has invested for the last 33, 34 years into what they have created in Jammu and Kashmir, and dare I say in the rest of India. The networks are not restricted to Jammu and Kashmir, they exist deep down into the south. These networks have to be sustained, otherwise 33 years of hard work by the ISI and all its other implements is going to go waste. I think the Pakistani establishment tends to delude itself that this is a temporary situation. India also had this situation in 1991 when $1 billion were left in the foreign exchange reserves. They'll try and apply that rationale to it and say, see, India overcame that and today they've got $550 billion. We will also achieve the same. Let's go ahead with our plans the way that we have been continuing to do. If that kind of a rationale and logic continues to be applied, then definitely you can expect that there will be an increase in the terror footprint in the coming days, as very correctly predicted that this year is going to be another hot year as far as the internal security situation is concerned.
2023 likely to be a hot year. Jammu, Kashmir, Punjab or rest of the country. I've run out of time on this part of the show.